is on in San Francisco. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for another Chicago Bears preview as the Bears are coming off the heels of a 6-game losing streak that they're currently on now to travel on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers, who sit at 5-7. They are on a 3-game losing skid. So this game is basically which team is going to end their losing streak. Is it going to be the Bears? Is it going to be the 49ers? We shall see in this ball game. It's time to talk about this. It's time to discuss the matchups, potential matchups, all that within the course of this game. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Now it's time to talk about this Chicago Bears offense versus the San Francisco 49ers defense. Now we're going up against a defense that's been hampered by injuries, as they are ranked 24th in the league in points, as they are giving up 24.6 points per game, and the Bears have the 20th ranked offense in the league, and they are scoring 20.1 points a game. Now, if you guys know me and you know me well, numbers never lie, but they just don't tell the entire story. And the entire story of this defense for the 49ers is injuries, injuries, injuries. Now, we're talking about Demontre Lenore, who's been a very good player for them, questionable. Nick Bosa from the IFC University, questionable. Jordan Elliott, questionable. They've already have Hargrave out. Dre Greenlaw hasn't returned yet. Hufanga, who's on IR. This defense it's been the strength of this team because of all the other injuries. You know, there's Leonard Floyd, a former Bear, who's been productive. Devondre Campbell, Fred Warner, who I think is one of the best linebackers that we have in football, if not the best linebacker in football. And Travarius Ward has been solid. So the question for the Bears, can they protect under new head coach Thomas Brown's offensive system? Now, the one thing that I am going to expect to try for this Bears team to do, even though they haven't really been doing it over the past few weeks, is running the football at a consistent basis, really trying to attack this San Francisco 49ers defense. Now, when we're talking about them as a defense, they are middle of the pack against the run as 15th, but they are one of the top passing teams in the league as far as pass defense goes. So when we're talking about this Bears offense, I think even with injuries to Ryan Bates and Darnell Wright, they are going to have to try to push to run the football. Whether it's Coleman Shelton, who did get dinged up in Detroit last week, whoever starts at the center position, right prior, whoever it is, I think the interior of this defensive line is a very solid one when we're talking about Malik Collins. Even Jordan Elliott is questionable. Khalil Davis has been solid. But when we're talking about this 49ers defense, I think the best way for this Bears offense to attack, even though Caleb Williams has been playing a whole lot better ever since Thomas Brown took over the play call and took over the offense, I think DeAndre Swift is going to have to be the X factor for the Bears as an offense because of his ability in open space, not only as a pass catcher, but as a runner in the football as well. I think this offensive line is going to have to play solid up front. They are going to have to pass some of those double team blocks and get to the second level because of guys like Warner and Devondre Campbell, who can fly all over the football field and make plays. I just personally believe, even though you have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, who had a very good game last week, Odunze, you are going to have to run the football against this Niners defense because their secondary, even without Hufanga, Mustafa has been playing some really solid football. Green has been young, but he's been playing and stepping up. You're going to have to run a football against this team. because they are the 4th ranked pass defense. So you're going to have to establish a running game to try to make things easier for Caleb Williams. Despite the fact that we know he's talented, despite the fact that we know he has been playing a lot better as far as passing the football over these past 3 weeks, you're going to have a balanced offense in a ball game like this against a run defense that you can run the football a bit against them. And we've seen that a little bit over the past couple of weeks, whether it's been Green Bay ran the football well against San Francisco. The Buffalo Bills last week ran the football very well against the San Francisco 49ers defense. So the Bears are going to have to come out and do the same thing now. The offensive line is going to be a question, and I've always said that about this team. And another thing, Kmet still has to be involved in this offense. We've seen whether it's him or Odunze at Allen, I think when you get those guys involved, especially Kmet, even though they have two of the better linebackers, especially linebacker cores that we have, especially Flair Warner and the things that he can do. If Kmet and you design ways for him to get open and design ways for things to kind of articulate the ball down the field with Kmet, I think personally that sets up so much. A run game sets up so much. It gives your guys open looks because the defenders are worried about a run game, which they have not been particularly best these past 2 weeks to stop. So the keys for this Bears offense to have success, you're going to have to establish a run game, which we have struggled to do. We see the best teams in the league, they're able to run the football, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Philly, Baltimore, Buffalo. You are going to have to run the football to even have a chance to win in this game. And I think the Bears are going to have to come out and do that. And Thomas Brown is going to have to design ways to do that for this Bears offense.
Today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. For me, it is very important to have a VPN to protect my online privacy. It'd be very, very creepy if there was someone out there who kept a log of every single thing that you did online. So why let your internet provider really do that to you online? The best thing to do is to get yourself a VPN, and why not go with the ExpressVPN, the best VPN available. Personally, I like it for the fact that you can unlock Netflix shows that you do not get in the US market. Now, one show that I've started to get myself into is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You search Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the US, doesn't come up, but you can switch your location to Canada and you can research Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, and bam, it pops up right then and there, and you can catch up on your episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, if you click the link in the description below, you will get 3 free months of ExpressVPN. Just by clicking the link below and you sign up today, you will get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. All you have to do is click the link down below and you will get ExpressVPN. Now, let's just get back to the video.
Now we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears defense going up against the San Francisco 49ers offense. Now, the elephant is in the room with this Bears defense. It is going to be interesting to see how things will look with the influence of Matt Eberflus no longer being there calling their plays. That is going to be taken over by Eric Washington. Now, this Bears defense ranking 9th against the league in points, where they're giving up 20 points per game, going up against the San Francisco 49ers offense that is the middle of the pack as far as points per game, scoring 22.5. The one thing with this 49ers offense, injuries. Deebo Samuel not having the greatest of years. Christian McCaffrey has been hurt all year. Jordan Mason has just went down. Trent Williams, I think still the best left tackle in football, is questionable for this ball game. Aaron Banks, left guard, questionable for this ball game. George Kittle has been in and out of the lineup with injuries. So, injuries with the San Francisco 49ers offense, and this is why I think they've been not necessarily the best all year. Now, the Bears still have Jaquan Brisker out. We're not sure at this moment of me recording this is he going to play this week. I kind of hope he does, but we shall see. Elijah Hicks is questionable for this ball game. The one thing about this San Francisco 49ers offense that Kyle Shanahan does do, he does design ways to get some of his better playmakers in football. Whether it's Jawan Jennings at the wide receiver position, who I think has been a very good add since he come back from injury. Even though Deebo hasn't been having the greatest of years, he's still a threat. George Kittle, still a threat. Brock Purdy just has not been playing at that top level that we've seen late in 2022 and then coming off of 2023. We just haven't seen it. And the one thing that the Bears are going to have to do in this ball game, and it's interesting to see what they're going to do with Matt Eberflus no longer calling plays, is how are they going to create pressure? Because when we're talking about the Bears' defensive front, they just have not been one of those units that have been getting consistent pressure on the quarterback. Now, we know Montez Sweat has been dealing with a bit of injuries, and we know that Andrew Billings has been out. But Zach Pickens, Javon Dexter, DeMarcus Walker, Darrell Taylor, Austin Booker, who I would like to see them give him a little bit more take of playing time, they are going to have to step up and get pressure on Brock Purdy, because when Brock Purdy has pressure, he is one of those quarterbacks that can have a tendency to make mistakes, can have a tendency to throw the football to the other team, and the Bears are going to have to create turnovers with this 49ers offense. If schemed right by Kyle Shanahan, despite some of the weapons that are lost, Uriendo has been, let's say, a good fill-in addition for them, but now he's going to have to take on a bigger role due to injuries. The one thing about this 49ers offense is that you can't count them out of scoring points despite the injuries. Now, we know they've been struggling due to the injuries, but it's just one of those offenses, schematically wise, that if schemed up right, they can have some success. For some of the keys to the Bears is George Kittle. I think slowing him down is going to play vital, especially with some of those weapons out, especially with the running backs out. Edmunds and Edwards have been playing some really good football over the course of the season, and I think that is going to have to continue with mixing up some of the coverages that you're going to put on a guy like George Kittle and Sanborn, as well as he's been playing solid when in the lineup. And I've always said about the Chicago Bears defense, Khalil Gordon and the X factor, the things that he can do in coverage. He's also been particularly good off of the blitz. So the things that Khalil Gordon can do in this ball game can have a factor into the Bears winning and losing this ball game and slowing down this Niners offense. And Brock Purdy is going to have to try to push the ball down the field. Even though the Bears pass defense, I still think it's one of the better pass defenses in the league, which they rank 6th. And the 49ers as a pass offense have ranked 9th. So that is strength against strength. And they're running the football, they're 7th. But like I said, Mason and McCaffrey being out could change that. But the way Kyle Shanahan designs the run offense for this 49ers team, it almost seems like no matter what running back is in, has some sort of success. And Uriendo has had some bit of success in his time in the lineup. And the Bears over the past couple of weeks have struggled to stop the run. That is something that is going to be key. The Bears are going to have to find ways to slow down this San Francisco running attack, because a lot of what Kyle Shanahan does is based off if they are able to run the football or not. So coming into this game, we haven't been doing that. They are going to have to find ways to do that to make this 49ers team one-dimensional, make Brock Purdy make some throws, especially against this Bears pass defense. When it's clicking, it could be one of the better defenses in the league, especially with the corner. Jaylon Johnson, I think, is the best corner in the league. You have a guy like Kevin Byard who's having a very good season. The linebackers, Edwards and Edmunds, have been good in coverage. We just have to get home with the pass rush of the front four and probably do some twists, do some stunts, and probably blitz just a little bit more than what we've typically seen from this Bears defense over the course of the year. So those are things that we're going to have to do. But with all that said, my pick is going to be, surprisingly, I am taking the Bears to win this game with the score of 21-17. I picked the Bears to win this game because I personally wouldn't have picked the Bears otherwise, but the 49ers injuries, I personally think will be just a bit too much to overcome, especially with the team that has been going through a ton of change over the past couple of weeks, where there's been a fire in the Eberflus, a fire in the Waldron, the new head leadership coming in with Thomas Brown. And I think the players are going to be just a bit more rejuvenated. And also, schematic-wise, I think Caleb Williams is going to have a solid day. I don't see them pushing the ball too much down the field, especially with the secondary of the Niners. But I do expect the Bears to come out and be more efficient as a run offense against this 49ers defense that has been gashed, been in the run game. I do expect this Bears run defense to play particularly better than what they have in past weeks. We know their secondary has been one of the best in the league. So I personally believe the Bears are going to come out, be physical, run the football, and these 49ers injuries on both sides of the ball, I just think are too much to overcome in this ball game, which I think will be a close one. But I think at the end, I think with better coaching decisions, with better things happening with this Bears team, I just think that is the reason that they're going to pull out this game in an upset and win 21-17 on the road. But those are my thoughts. Leave you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.